Hi, this is Mato. Welcome to my online chess lecture. In this video I will show you a game between Nepomniachtchi and Magnus Carlsen. This is the game 5 from the World Chess Championship match 2021. Nepo had white pieces and he started with e4. Carlsen played e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to b5. For the third time in the match, Nepo played the Spanish opening, asking a question, bishop to a4, knight to f6, castling, bishop to e7, rook to e1, b5, bishop to b3, castling. White to move h3 was the move that Nepo played in the previous game, avoiding c3 and the martial attack. In this game, Nepo played a4. Rook to b8, a takes on b5, a takes on b5, h3 controlling g4 square, d6, c3, b4, d3, pawn takes pawn on c3, b takes on c3. This position was seen for the first time in 1992. That was a game between Balashov and Janocha. In this position, player with the black pieces played knight to d7 and came second. Carlsen played d5, white to move, knight from b to d2. Nepo didn't want to win the pawn like this, because then knight takes on d5, and after knight takes on e5, knight takes knight, rook takes knight, bishop to e6. This is just one line. Bishop takes on d5, bishop takes on d5, and black has a compensation for the sacrificed pawn. Back to our game, that is why Nepo played knight from b to d2, d takes on e4, d takes on e4, bishop to d6, queen to c2, h6, knight to f1, knight to e7, knight to g3, knight to g6, bishop to e3, queen to e8. Both players have a bishop pair, but white bishops are better placed. It is white to move and white has a nice choice of moves. But what is the best move? Nepo played rook from e to d1. The other good moves would be knight to f5, bishop to a4 and c4, threatening c5. Perhaps c4 looks like the best candidate. What do you think? Because after c5, white stands better, and white may even bring his knight to d5, or maybe the bishop. If queen to e7, bishop to c6 on the way to d5. And what about bishop to d7? Then bishop takes on d7, queen takes on d7, knight to e2 on the way to d5. Back to our game. Rook from e to d1 was played, bishop to e6, bishop to a4, bishop to d7, knight to d2. Again, bishop takes on d7 looks like a good move, because after queen takes on d7, c4, white stands slightly better. But is it enough to win? Back to our game. Knight to d2, bishop takes on a4, queen takes on a4, queen takes queen, rook takes queen, rook to a8, fighting for the open file, rook from d to a1, rook takes rook, rook takes rook, rook to b8, rook to a6, knight to e8, intending to create a fortress. King to f1, knight to f8, knight to f5, knight to e6, knight to c4, rook to d8, f3. If knight from f takes on d6, then knight takes on d6, and after knight takes on e5, knight takes on e4. That is why Nepo played f3 before taking on d6. f6 was played, g4, king to f7, h4, bishop to f8, king to e2, knight to d6, Knight on c takes on d6, bishop takes on d6, h5, bishop to f8. White has a good knight and black has a bad bishop, but white can't make a progress. Rook to a5, king to e8, rook to d5, rook to a8, rook to d1, rook to a2 check, rook to d2, rook to a1, rook to d1, rook to a2 check, rook to d2, rook to a1, rook to d1, draw. There was a feeling that Nepo was better in this game, but he couldn't find that killer move which he needed to win. What do you think of this game? And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I wish you good luck with your chess, and bye for now.